Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, GCW, hit 'em up 2024 from the Ukrainian Cultural Center there in Los Angeles, California. This show took place on Saturday afternoon. We had 3 shows, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and this is the second of the 3. We'll get the other one up tomorrow as well. We did the Lights Out yesterday, did that last night. This is going to be Hit 'em Up, and then the next one will be I Can't Feel My Face. That one came from Mason, Arizona. Alright, so the first match on this card was Broski Jimmy taking on Jordan Oliver. Now this match started with Broski Jimmy cutting a promo, kind of putting down the crowd, putting down the Ukrainian Cultural Center, and then Longneck was at ringside. He ended up getting in the ring, he took his shirt off, gets in the ring, slapped Broski Jimmy. Jimmy put his hand around his neck, and then out comes Jordan Oliver. Now remember, Jordan Oliver had the fight the night before against Mance Warner for the GCW World Title. Manser put a chair over his knee and hit him with, tried to take his knee out with a chair. Well, he's not 100%. Well, Broski Jimmy, obviously seeing that last night, from Friday night, he went after Jordan's knee as well, hit it with a chair several times. Just kept working on that knee. Fortunately for Jordan Oliver, he was able to come back from that and was able to get the pinfall victory there. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. I ended up giving it 3-star. The match itself was pretty decent. Next up, we had Megan Bayne taking on Sandra Moone. We have found out recently that Megan Bayne is a free agent. I know at one time she had a developmental deal with AEW. Not sure what happened there. She's one of those talents on the indies. She needs a little bit more work and seasoning, but I think she could be a main event caliber women's wrestler. Taking on Sandra Moone here. This match was just okay. It was 10 minutes, a little less than 11 minutes. I thought it had some good spots, but also had some kind of clunky spots. Megan Bayne ended up getting the victory, and I'm giving it 2.5. And then making his GCW debut, and I do believe his independent wrestling debut, a former WWE talent known as Reginald and Scripps. Reggie making his independent wrestling debut for GCW. Only wrestling, this was his 71st match, at least on record at Cage Match. Everything else was with WWE, dating back to 2021, the first part of 2021. So yeah, his first independent match, known as Sidney Akeem. He was taking on Jack Cartwheel. So we had two guys who know how to control their bodies when they're flying through the air. That what we call lucha libre style. This match actually was only a little less than 10 minutes long, but by God, it was good. You had a lot of dives to the outside. You had Jack Cartwheel. They didn't have the cartwheel counter. GCW didn't have that yet, but they're working on it. But Sidney Akeem was able to get the victory, and then giving it 3.5. So it's one of those matches that was just enjoyable to watch. Next up, we had talk about long-term storytelling. This actually took place from the collective, the Clusterfuck. Viva Vance and versus Man Like DeReiss. They were in the Clusterfuck, and somebody had pushed Viva Van into Man Like DeReiss. He kind of fell in the corner. She ends up getting eliminated. He didn't help her. Apparently they're together. I didn't know this. I'm assuming this is what it all means. But Man Like DeReiss starts doing because he's from the UK, so he starts kind of doing the Orange Cassidy version of chops, and they actually brought up, he was kind of paying homage to Curtis Chapman, Mad Kurt from Progress and Rev Pro, who did a similar kind of chops. Kind of paying homage to Mad Kurt, kind of the same as with Orange Cassidy. So it was a fun little match for these two. 10 minutes. Viva end up getting the victory. Then at the end, this is what makes me think they're together. Main like DeReiss proposed to her. Gets the ring and asked her, got on one knee and everything. She said yes. So I thought that was kind of a neat little twist on the end of the match. But Viva getting the victory there, I give that 3 stars as well. Next up, we're supposed to have Bobby Flaco taking on Hunter Drake. Right before the match starts, we have music hit. We have Zilla Fatu coming out. Now, Zilla Fatu, part of the Fatu family. He is a cousin to Jacob Fatu. And the Usos and everything over in WWE. This is only his 15th match. Looks like 12 of those were with GCW, and then a couple with Reality of Wrestling there out of Texas with Booker T. So watching him grow in GCW, he was teaming with Jacob Fatu for a while there. Jacob recently signed with WWE. We're just waiting for him to debut. I think Zillow is probably, I would say, at least a few months away from getting over there. My guess is Hikuleo is going to come join the new bloodline. And then when Roman comes back, probably SummerSlam-ish, maybe later, we're going to have Roman and the Usos will get back together, and Jacob Fatu will join that group, so it'll be 4-on-4. And then Zilla will probably come in at some point and pick sides, and then that's who will probably end up doing, or probably adds, my guess is he'll go on Solo side, and then Sami Zayn will help out Roman's side, do 5-on-5 at War Games, Survivor Series, would be my guess. But in the meantime, we get Zilla Fatu in GCW, which is awesome. He added a bit of to this match because of the triple threat now, and Hunter Drake and Bobby Flaco aren't typically ones that are going to start adding doors and chairs and door bridges and stuff as Zilla Fatu is. So we got that element added to this. We got the high flying part and the diving part of Bobby Flaco and Hunter Drake, but Zilla Fatu brought in that door bridges, and they actually ended up spearing Bobby Flaco through a door in the ring. Zilla Fatu ended up getting the victory, ended up giving that 3-star. Next up, we had a 6-way scramble match. We had the one called Manders taking on Brayden Toon versus Jordan Cruz versus Mr. Danger versus Rob Shit and Sam Stackhouse. I said yesterday on the video that we need to do Rob Shit and Sam Stackhouse needs to be a tag team. We'll call it Shit House. It wasn't good then, it's not good now, but it'd be hilarious. Welcome to the Shit House. Rob Shit and Sam Stackhouse. Anyway, we had a 6-way scramble match. It was okay with kind of the Manders and Jordan Cruz and Rob Shit and Sam Stackhouse, kind of the bigger guys. Brayden Toon and Mr. Danger as kind of the high-flying guys. We ended up getting one called Manders getting the victory. It lasted about a little less than 10 minutes. 9 minutes and 43 seconds. And with one Manders getting the victory, and I give it 3 1/4. Next up, we had Los Macizos, Ciclope, and Miedo Extremo taking on the Stoner Brothers, Rick Scott Stoner and Scott Rick Stoner. They were stoned. Apparently, there is a drug policy now in GCW based on the commissioner, Matt Cardona, but he wasn't there, so we let anything go here because the stoners were involved. Los Macizos had a door bridge. They ended up putting them stoners through it, getting the victory off of that. Ended up giving it 3 1/4. Next up, we had Danhausen taking on Kylie Rae. Danhausen, usual, got his jar of teeth out, and was able to help him get the victory there off of Kylie Rae. 2 3/4 star match. Next up, we had a 6-way intergender tag team match. We had Bodhi and Prodigy teaming up with the Gahbage Daddies, Alec Price and Radrick taking on Thrussy, Alec had Stark Sheik, and Effie. Just your typical Thrussy 6-person tag match with Thrussy getting the victory, ended up giving it a 3-star. Then we had our main event. GCW World Title on the line, champion Mance Warner going up against challenger Joey Janela. Joey Janela trying to finish his story. The fact he won the world title in that gauntlet match with everything against him, and then just to get cashed in on Vance Warner. And so this was the rematch of that. They bloodied the hell out of one another. They had chair shots. They had freaking everything in that match. Door bridges. They both were able to put each other through. I mean, they were both just bloody. And then right before Vance Warner goes for a pinfall, out comes former GCW World Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Blake Christian, returning from New Japan, part of Best of Super Juniors over there. Comes out, super kicks the referee, takes out Manser, takes out Janela. Obviously, we're setting up for a triple threat at some point here. Manser versus Janela versus Blake Christian. Remember, Blake Christian was stripped of the title because he was doing the Best of the Super Juniors. He's back, so he's going to go after his title, which there was a feud with Manser and Blake Christian back before. And also, don't forget, Cole Radrick has the brass ring, which is basically like the Money in the Bank briefcase for GCW. So we literally have a four-way set up right now. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. Vance Warner, Joe Janela, Blake Christian, and Cole Radrick. Any of those four, I think we should have a four-way ladder match for the title. I think let's just jump right in with that. That match lasted 26 minutes 52 seconds before the disqualification. I ended up giving it 3 3/4 star. I was loving the match up to that point because you had Manser being Manser. He got a screwdriver out, and Joe Janela was able to get the screwdriver from him and was pounding Manser with the screwdriver at one point. So you just had everything kind of coming to fruition here. Hell, let's do a ladder match. Let's let Effie do it, because Effie's had obviously a big issue with Manser. Maybe get Alec to bring in the drill and drill in the Manser like he's been doing everyone. And just have like everyone attacks Manser kind of deal. But hey, overall, GCW, hit them up. Good show, top to bottom. A lot of storylines moving on with that main event in the world title. Can't wait to see what Blake Christian comes back. Remember, Robert Sports Show, from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Cover it all right here. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.